What is going on, everyone? Ryan here from Mr. Mom Collectibles. This is a little bit different of a stream. It's Saturday afternoon. I am flying solo. You usually see me with a couple guests here and there. Honestly, like I said, I'm from New Jersey, and the weather's really crappy out. It's rainy. Home, not doing anything. So I thought about maybe just doing a little stream for like an hour or so, just to see if anyone's on, want to chat. And I had an idea of doing like a top five figure stream. So what I'm going to do is address a couple things first, and then this is something I was going to pre-record anyway, so I figure just do it as a live stream. And I'm going to pick out five figures from my collection that I couldn't live without. These are figures that mean something more than just top five, or something that's figures that mean something. These have a lot of meaning to me in one way or another, and I'll explain that as we run through the figures. As I said, we'll see how the chat goes. I love for people to jump in, throw me your picks. So as we go through, I didn't really have a lot of thought in terms of like number one meaning any more value than number five. It just is top five figures. So as I go through, I'll pull them up on the screen. If you guys want to jump in and throw me, what your top five are in your collection. These are figures that either hold a lot of meaning, a story behind them, or something like that you just couldn't live without them. The collection could disappear, but if you had to pick five, what are these five? So before we get started, I want to jump in the chat to see who's in here right now. We got about 7 people watching, so we'll see what's going on. Insane One, as always, first and foremost. Soon, what's going on, brother? I've been talking to you pretty much all morning. I think I've been talking to you more than my wife today. So I hope you're doing good. Some Guy, let's go. As always, you're a staple in a lot of the groups. I really appreciate your support, Some Guy. I really appreciate that. Dylan Hicks, Serious Slug, how are you, man? I really, what's going on? Seeing your stuff on Instagram, guys, go check out his Instagram page. I just love his stuff as always. Jared, what's up, folks? Jared, what's going on, man? I love your profile picture of OG Mando. He may be is he in the top five? I don't know. That OG Mando might be there. But nevertheless, as people trickle in, I'll check out the comments. But I first wanted to give everyone kind of a channel status update. I usually do this in the beginning. Like I said, Saturdays are not my normal streams, just because I know other people have a lot of other stuff to do. And so, like I said, I had a lot of downtime today, so I figured I'd do this. I was supposed to have a stream on Thursday with Carl Newman, who, for those who don't know, was a movement double for Michael Keaton in Batman 1989. He served in a lot of key roles, a lot of key scenes. Unfortunately, there was a technical difficulty with Carl being able to use the StreamYard system that we normally use. And so, unfortunately, after about an hour or so, we weren't able to get that going. We were able to reschedule it in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from Thursday is when we're going to do the stream again. He was so upset about it, but we figured out a way to do it on Zoom. So I can do it on Zoom and broadcast it on YouTube. So therefore, a live audience can watch it as well. So I'll put the links out to that as well. And then the other thing is this Sunday, I normally stream on Sundays. That's been like a staple for me. That's kind of where I'm trying to put my, cementing my ground in terms of doing a regular live stream, doing more of an opinionated with different topics and things. So regular live stream is going to be Sundays, 8:15 EST. This Sunday, we're going to be talking about The Flash. I know that Flash trailer dropped. I had a different stream topic, but this time with The Flash, I was just so hyped for it. So I actually have a special guest. We have Costa from Pop Culture Living Room. He's going to be joining me on Sunday, and also with Cigars and Bacon. So there's going to be 3 of us. And what we're going to do is we're going to recap the news, go through a couple topics, and then the main conversation piece is going to be, okay, let's go nuts. And we want to pick out basically a top 3, maybe a top 5 Hot Toys wish list for The Flash. I have my own opinions about The Flash. I think it's, with Hot Toys, it's their last chance with DC for an actual release. This could be $1 billion movie realistically. As we can see, a lot of fans are going to go there. I think to see Michael Keaton, the second trailer was very heavy on Michael Keaton, which I don't think was a surprise. Ghostbusters Afterlife did the same thing. The last trailer for it had all the OG Ghostbusters in there to get people in the seats. I'm going to be there. So there's no surprise. I think they went very heavy on Michael Keaton for the last trailer. They're trying to make that push to get those people out there to go see the movie. It has about, I think the runtime was just released of about 2.5 hours. And so that being said, we hope to see a lot of Michael Keaton. I know he's my favorite Batman. And so, like I said, we're going to do a top three, top five wish list of figures that we want to see from the Flash, as I said, because I think this is something that Hot Toys might go all in on and just make a lot of figures from it. So, that being said, Hot Toys Nightmare, what's going on, brother? So good, great to see you there. Hello, everybody. Jared, folks, just calling out some conversations going on. Keep the conversations going in the chat. But as I said, we're going to get into the basically my top five figures, and what these are my top five Hot Toys that I couldn't live without. Like I said, number one doesn't have any more value than number five. It's just one through five. So what I'm going to do now is go in behind me. You see my collection behind me. I'm going to go behind me and pull out the first figure, and then we're going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you the story about it. And while I'm doing that, you guys have your list together. And like I said, follow along with me. So I'm actually going to go grab my number one figure out of my top five. Hang on one second. So my number one figure pick is the Iron Man Mark 43. Now, this doesn't mean this is my number one figure overall. Okay. I just want to be clear with that. I just had to pick five, but it is the Iron Man Mark 43. And the reason why I chose this specific figure in my top five is because this is my first ever Hot Toys I ever purchased. This is my first one. Um, I was give you a quick story about this figure. A couple years, I started collecting Hot Toys in 2020. So in late 2019, going into 2020, a coworker of mine, who was a huge collectible fan as myself, we would collect a lot of things, different pop culture items, things like that, Batman. And he turned me on to Sideshow's website and said, "Hey, you should check out Hot Toys. Check out this website." And I said, "I don't. What is this all about?" And he got me into checking out Sideshow Collectibles. And I saw these Hot Toys, had no idea what they were. I couldn't understand the value in them. I thought they were ridiculously overpriced. Everything that someone wouldn't understand anything about Hot Toys. I had every one of those thoughts. And so like a month or two went by, and it was, like I said, the summer of 2020. And I decided to pull the trigger, and I purchased this figure on a payment plan. This is the first one I got. I paid retail for it at the time. Like I said, I didn't know anything about Hot Toys. And I think I put it on a 3-month payment plan and paid it off in 2 months. Got the figure, came home, got it. And I think everyone expects from Hot Toys. Got the delivery. The box blew me away about how heavy it was. I didn't understand it. I never saw a Hot Toy in person. Never saw them in comic shops. So I ordered this online, not knowing anything. So just keep that in mind. Opened it up, and the weight of it, I couldn't believe it, especially being a die cast piece. It blew me away. Open up the box, and there is a smell. Everyone jokes about it. There is a smell. You smell that Hot Toys freshness. And as I said, I opened it up and I saw the head sculpt of Robert Downey Jr., and it was just an amazing experience. And my wife was there, and didn't tell her how much I spent on it because she said it looked valuable, and she was right. And so, like I said, for my first Hot Toy being a die-cast Iron Man, this is my first one. And unfortunately, if you guys know Shane from One Six Figure Focus, I did an episode with him called Visions, where he does like an interview, and I tell the story about this I just said. But unfortunately, me being an idiot, I actually sold the figure. I didn't see the value in it. At the time, I was reconsolidating my collection, seeing what was more important to me, things like that. And this is one of those that was on the chopping block, and I actually sold the figure, and I regretted it to this day. And so what I did was, I think it was around late last year, I was on Sideshow's website, and I found they had one of the daily deals. And this guy's always floating around on daily deals here. And I happened to grab him. I grabbed him with a fantastic discount. I actually got him, I think it was like $5 shipping. I'm going to share this for a second. Here we go. I think it was like it was crazy shipping. It was like $5 shipping. Yeah, it's $5 shipping right now. But there was also a discount. Like, I didn't pay the $360. I paid under $300 for the figure. And I had rewards too. Definitely paid under $300 for it. And so And so, yeah, like Jared said, that my top 5 figures would be, yeah, let's hear them. I wanna hear them, absolutely. But like I said, I got a great deal on this figure, and with the display setup that I have behind me, I have it front and center with the display, with the broken Ultron droid. But this is something that's very I really do cherish this figure. I didn't have the appreciation for it before, but now I do. Unfortunately, it's one of those I end up buying. I never wanted to be that person where you rebuy pieces in the collection. But that's what I ended up doing. This is the only one I ever rebought twice. I swear I would never do it again. But like I said, the Iron Man Mark 43 is my first pick. Once again, that doesn't mean it's my overall pick. It just means that it's in my top 5. So I want to do is jump back through the comments. I see a lot of people trickling in. I really do appreciate the support. Was Dylan, you're saying my top 5, depending on the day, changes? Yeah, I do agree with that. Mine does kind of change depending on what comes in. My first hot toy was the Dark Knight Armory and Bang Robber 2.0, all the way back since 2015. That is amazing, man. I mean, like I said, I started collecting in 2020, and just to see this stuff, like I wish I was collecting hot toys back in that day, man, to get a jump on all those awesome pieces. Jared, Mr. Mom, I just have one Iron Man, and it's the Midas one. That was actually my first Hot Toys that got my foot in the door. And I mean, for a lot of people, man, I mean, for it to be a die-cast piece, especially if you never saw die-cast in person, like I said, I never went to a comic book shop or anything like that. So to order that out of blind faith, to say, hey, I'm going to order this figure offline and then get it, to your house, yeah, that's a different feeling that I think than something else. And saying what a diecast Iron Man changed many collectors' minds. Yes, I do agree with that. Absolutely. And it also said, feed the algorithm, folks, leave a like and sub. I really do appreciate that, by the way. You guys, like I said, I don't expect a lot of people to be trickling in because it's a Saturday afternoon. I'm sure there's more important things going on, football draft, other things like that. So I'm just sitting here killing time, figure have a conversation, and enjoy. Who Super cool time. Thank you for the comment. My first figure was the MMS 239 Police Station Terminator. 50 figs later, and it's still my favorite. Yeah, I mean that's amazing. That's it's such a great. I have one. I don't have many figures that are that low in terms of the MMS, but I do have a DX that might be on the list. But that it's still amazing. Those older Hot Toys figures. You look at the DX08, DX09, how those figures still hold up, and how many years old are those figures? Even a lot of the Terminator figures. I know a lot of people want a 2.0 those and get new versions, but to be honest with you, I mean, they still hold up. I mean, I'd love to have them, but it's like almost like, are they on the priority list of getting a 2.0, especially with all the Star Wars coming? No, but I think we'd love to have it, wouldn't we? I mean, I'd love to get all in on Terminator, absolutely. Um, let's see what Jared says. OG Mando. So this is your top 5. OG Mando, which it might be in mine or not. Mysterio, fantastic figure. I have him. Batman, BTAS Mando, Iron Man, Midas, and Spider-Man Black and Gold. Those are great choices. Absolutely great choices. Now, do those rotate every so often as you get new ones in? They may or may not. But those are excellent picks. So what I'm going to do now is jump on to my number 2 pick for my top 5 figures. I'll just put this Iron Man to the side here. I do not hope he falls, but give me one moment and I'm going to walk over and get my number 2 pick for my top 5 figures. And I'll pull this up back on the screen. Lo and behold, I think Jared hit the head on something there. It is the OG Mando, or Durasteel Mando. I just call him OG Mando. It is the OG Mando from season 1 of Mandalorian. I absolutely love this figure. I love this figure so much. It's one of those figures I keep gravitating back to in the collection. If anyone follows me on Instagram. I do a lot of figure photography, a lot with troopers, things like that. And this is one of those figures I do a lot of photography with. I absolutely love this figure. I love the Western kind of gunslinger version of this. I love it. It's a shame that it only lasted, I think, 2.5 episodes before he got the full upgrade to the Beskar. But I absolutely love everything about this. I love the mismatched. I didn't think I did. When I got it out of FOMO because it was selling out, and I got the figure. I think it was like blue. It was blue screened on Sideshow, and I picked this figure up. I actually tried picking up another one that was open box, or on Sideshow Seconds. This figure was blue screened, and I ended up pulling the trigger and getting it, and I'm so happy that I did. Um, like I said, I love the mismatched look. It photographs fantastic. Like I love photographing it. Articulation is good. I learned where I can push it and where not to in terms of its articulation, because the fat suit, I know people have done bodysuit modifications. I don't want to rip open the bodysuit and do that. I want to keep it as is. Um, Original, but I'm so happy about this. Now, the reason why this one is in my top 5, and there is a story to every figure, is this is the figure that really got me into Hot Toys Star Wars, was this. I was always a Star Wars fan, but when I started collecting, I had a huge sports memorabilia collection, and I actually sold off the entire collection. So I had quite a bit of available funds, more than normal, and I started buying up Hot Toys at a pretty fast rate in terms of getting quite a few. And the problem was I wasn't into Star Wars Hot Toys at the time. I was into Star Wars, but I was more into Marvel, DC. Like I said, my first one was the Iron Man. My second Hot Toy was the Justice League Superman. I got him on a waitlist conversion. He went waitlisted, and then I signed up for waitlist. I got the conversion the next day, and then after that, I started getting PS4 Spider-Man, John Wick, things like that. And it was when Mando came out and I saw Mando, this is the first figure that really got me into Star Wars Hot Toys. And I started collecting Star Wars from there. And it's a shame because when I started collecting Hot Toys, there was like, I could have had the Emperor. I could have had, I think it was Return of the Jedi Luke. A lot of the Return of Jedi figures were just kind of phasing themselves out. And so it's kind of one of those I wish I would have had. And there was figures on there that I could have had, but I opted not to because I was going all in on Marvel and a little bit of DC like Justice League. But nevertheless, I got this figure. I loved it. Absolutely love it. I wish they sold the version with the blur by itself, because I think that one has better body articulation, and I probably would pick it up to do more extreme posing with it. But like I said, I love everything about this. I love the Western gunslinger look to it. I love the mismatched armor. Absolutely love this figure. So like I said, this is my number 2, and like I said, it has more meaning to me because it got me into buying more Star Wars Hot Toys. And right now, my focus, I really am dropping back on Marvel. The No Way Home series is really my last of Marvel for quite some time. I'm focusing much more on Star Wars and DC, and finishing up the Justice League and stuff like that. But Star Wars is really where my passion is, and I do credit this figure for that. As I said, I was always a Star Wars fan, but something about getting the Hot Toys, I wanted to invest my money into other stuff, but this is the figure that did it for me. So before I grab the next one, just checking to see the comments. Yep, yes, sir. Let's go. I can't wait to get my Chrome Mando. Chrome Mando, he was almost on there. I love that figure. I had the original Chrome Mando. I did sell that one to get something else, and then I got the actual chrome plated one. I love that figure. I have 2 versions of them. I have 2 figures. I have the stock one, and that figure actually had a broken ankle on it. So Sideshow sent me a replacement, but they sent me a replacement body that was about 95% complete. So I put the Pedro Pascal head sculpt on one and found a couple shoulder cauldrons. So I have 2 Chrome Mandos. And then what I ended up doing with that one is I actually removed all the wear off them, so it looks much more shiny and pristine. So that's I did that, absolutely. So what Dylan said, I sold this one, but I still love the look of it. Yeah, I love the mismatched armor look, and I kind of wish almost like he acquired pieces throughout the season instead of it getting like a kind of a shock where it's a whole new suit. But it's all good. But I do love it, and it doesn't really hold a lot of value in terms. I thought it was going to hold a lot of value because it was only used for like 2 episodes, but I mean, you can still get them for like 220, 230. People are selling them, so but I love the figure so much. And sometimes when I'm outside shooting and I'm going to go outside and do some figure photography, I look at kind of like what figure I'm going to use. He's usually like top 3 that I'll grab off the shelf and take him outside and do some photos, as you guys can tell. Jared, 13 people watching, only 4 likes. Let's get the likes up. I appreciate it. Like I said, we got 15 watching right now. I do appreciate that. A. Rodriguez, Cable, War Machine, Punisher, Nightmare Batman, Yondu, Daredevil are among my favorites. Yeah, I have the Nightmare Batman 2.0. You can kind of see him right there. He's a little blurred out. I had Yondu and Daredevil. I did get rid of them. I got rid of Yondu because I was in an attempt to collect the Guardians of the Galaxy line, but I kind of fell out of love with it. So I had Yondu and I had Star Lord from Volume Two Deluxe. I actually sold those. I will look at the new Guardians movie. I'm not a fan of the suits. I am interested to see what Hot Toys does with those. But if I went in all in on Guardians, I wanted a complete line of them. Obviously, I know this lineup's going to change now because Yondu's not there, but it is what it is. But I kind of don't see myself going after the Guardians line. As I said, with Hot Toys is very kind of bottlenecked right now with Mando season 3, Return of the Jedi. Those are priority items for me, and then everything else is kind of secondary. But nevertheless, insane one. Check out Mr. Mom. I appreciate on Instagram. Thank you so much for that Instagram link. Yeah, if you check out my Instagram, I do a lot of figure photography outside. I do some crazy stuff, putting them in water. I do the stuff that they tell you not to do with figures. But it is what it is. They're mine, not yours. So you can look at them and appreciate them, and you don't have to worry about them. If they're damaged, that's on me, not on you. I love to just play with my figures outside and then take them outside and do stupid stuff. Yeah, your outdoor photography. If I could talk, your outdoor photography with Mando is just so beautiful. You can never get enough photos of Mando. I took this Mando. He's the only one that's gone international. I took him to Mexico. If you go on there, you'll see some photos of him on the beach. I went to Mexico and I actually snuggled Mando in my suitcase along with Aquaman. I did Aquaman in the ocean. Those are the only two that have gone international with me, and I didn't have any issues whatsoever. Good lazy Don Prime, the man. Good lazy Saturday, everyone. Yeah, that's what it's all about. I'm sitting here in sweatpants and a beanie. The weather's crappy. Can't go outside and do photography. So I figure, why not do a stream? Also, I never streamed solo before. So I usually am with one or two other people. And so I figured just do it by myself and see how it goes and, navigating, so to speak. And Hot Toys Nightmare, your top 5, Suicide Squad Batman. Your picture of that is phenomenal with the Kate. Chrome Deluxe Mando. It would have been number 6 for me. Arkham Knight, Batman Beyond, Captain Rex, and 501st. Fantastic picks. That's what's great about picks. No one can tell you they're right or wrong. They are just awesome. Don Prime, doing good, brother, as always. And Don Prime, you are, I don't want to say it out loud because I'm private, but I thank you again. You sent me a little gift yesterday, and I just want to thank you for that as well. Don, you are a gentleman and a scholar. And I do hope you change your mind about going to New York Comic Con, and I get to meet up with you one of those days. I'm going to be going Friday specifically, dressed as a full Ghostbuster, lugging a 40-pound proton pack on my back. So I do hope we get to meet up, brother. And then Dylan, I've been doing my outdoor photos for 3 years now, and I've never put mine in water. You are braver than me, but I'd love to get some pictures of Aquaman and Jack Sparrow in the water eventually. Dylan, I have to say, you have a unique style. And please go check out Dylan Hicks. I don't have your link to your Instagram handy to drop in, so I do apologize about that. But I love when to talk photography for a second. I love when everyone has like a unique style where you can look at a photo and say, hey, that's his work. And Dylan, you have a very unique style, which I love the way you do outdoor. Everything is like the same but different. But what I mean by that is something that I can browse through and not look at your username. And I know that they're your photos. Mine are a little bit all over the place, but I'm starting to hone in on my kind of style of doing the outdoor and doing the specific back. And that's my backyard. All those photos in the back that like in the woods and stuff, it's in my backyard. I literally walk 2 minutes to my backyard. And the creek and all that stuff, that's literally my property. So it's the same property over and over again. But it serves its purpose. But Dylan, great stuff. Absolutely love it. I'll drop your link in there when I get a chance to get it. But if anyone else is on Instagram that's friends with Dylan, if someone could drop that, that'd be so fantastic. But CSI Grissom, you're doing great. Han Solo, Mr. Mom, I appreciate that. So I'm gonna grab some more comments. CT603, my man, how are you doing on this Saturday? I hope you're doing great. You're another great gentleman to talk to. You and I talk fairly regularly, like when we get a chance. I know you're a busy man. You're a busy man, so am I. But we get our chances to correspond. You've bestowed some great knowledge on me in the community. And CT, I don't have any, I couldn't think of better words to say to you, my friend. But I really appreciate you jumping in and hanging out for a moment. But I'm gonna grab my third figure. Let me get it set up here so you guys are ready. My third figure, and I will be right back. Hang on one second. Come on, guys. I'm a huge Batman fan. You don't think I'm going to put Batman in here, right? It's a DX09. Come on, man. It's DX09. Michael Keaton. You think he's not going to be in there? Really? DX09. So there's a little story behind this one as well. So this is the DX09. You guys know all about it, right? There's a new one coming out. I'm still getting the new one. I did a comparison video on this compared to the new one. There's a lot of major differences. I never thought they would really kind of go back into the vault and check this one out. But yeah, let's get nuts. There we go. It's the 89 suit. But this is actually this is my I don't know the exact number. This is in my top 5 first Hot Toys I ever bought. And it's my first quote unquote grail. I paid $340 for this on eBay. Still have the box, still have everything. The only thing that was wrong with it was the purse system in the back. One of the levers is a little broken and it didn't come with the stick. So if I want to adjust the eyes, I have to do it manually. But this figure is just, I'm a huge Batman fan. So when I started getting Hot Toys, like I said, I got this off eBay. If I would have known what I know now, I never would have. It was an awesome transaction, no issues. Paid $340 for it, which I thought was reasonable at the time. But like I said, the DX09, this has a custom Jackson Jew cape on it that I got. It's a drape cape. It looks great. The texture on it looks real movie accurate. It's very thin, but like I said, it drapes the body fantastic. I think the portrait sculpt it's Michael Keaton. As I said, the new one that they're doing, they did minor overall refinements to the figure, and I think they're completely justified. So for me, this will be the first figure that I'm experiencing the reissue, where I have a figure that they're reissuing or doing a 2.0. This is the first figure that I'm experiencing that, but I don't have any problems with it, because I think after seeing all the updates they're doing to it, it's completely justified. I do hope we get a Joker 2.0. Not sure if there's a lot that can be refined with it, but I do hope we get it. But like I said, this is a great one and it means a lot to me. I'm an 89 Batman fan. And what's really funny is I actually sitting on my computer, I have the original 3.75 from when this isn't the one I had from when I was a kid, but I got this. But as you can see how far we've come and gone, right? In terms of figures, this used to be the cat's meow when it first came out. And now look what we're dealing with, a figure that was, I don't even know how much this was back in the day, $5, $10 maybe, at wherever you would have gotten the figures back then. But look at the comparison. It's just unbelievable. And this one sits right here. It sits right on my my desktop. But you can see it's just amazing, right? So how far we've come in terms of toys, and now McFarlane has all the new ones out. So, but this one here does mean a lot to me because it is Michael Keaton. I just love this figure so much. The articulation is kind of shot on it. Honestly, it does a hard time standing up on its own. So I have to keep it in museum pose. The ankles on it are very weak, but like I said, for condition wise, the rubber suit, everything is in really great condition. But this figure does mean a lot to me because it is my first grail that I purchased, and it is physically in my top 5 first figure I ever bought from Hot Toys. I want to say this is like the fourth or fifth figure that I bought when I got Hot Toys. I want to say the first one was the Mark 43. The second one was Justice League Superman. The third one was John Wick. The fourth one was the PS4 Spider-Man suit. And then number 5 is the DX09. So, so this is just, like I said, an amazing piece. There's not much more I can say about it other than, like I said, it's in my top 5, definitely. But I'm gonna check out some of the comments. Super cool time. Top 10. Sorry, nothing wrong with that. I almost did top 10, but I wasn't sure how long the stream was going to be in terms of audience participation. I'm blowing through the list pretty fast, but nevertheless, we can definitely, maybe I'll stretch out and do some honorable mentions. But what do you got here? Police Station Terminator, fantastic. RoboCop, I might share that opinion. Technor Terminator, DX13, BVS Batman, he's a good one. Christopher Reeve Superman, which I hope they do a 2.0. They don't need to, but just because I'm envious and I want it. Custom Indiana Jones, MMS 117 Terminator, new stealth suit cap, and Batman Returns. The Batman Returns, I'll make an opinion about that. I really do hope, and I was actually an advocate for this. A lot of people gave this figure crap for getting a 2.0. I am a real advocate that I really do hope that we get the Batman Returns suit 2.0'd, even if it's in a single and not a 2-pack. That way it doesn't devalue the old one. And the only reason why is because that suit seems to have more prominence in the movie than the 89. Obviously, when this was announced, it's under the Batman banner, like it's just Batman. It's not part of the Flash movie. And obviously it's easy for them just kind of reissue, tweak it, put it out there, and people are going to buy it. So it was a good opportunity. But as you could tell from the trailer and promo photos, the one of the Flashes that doesn't have a suit evidently is using the Batman 1992 Returns suit modified. The ears are kind of shaved down to be more aerodynamic. The emblem is the 92 emblem. The cowl is the 92 cowl, and the ab section and the boots are the 92. So it's the 92 suit, basically modified. Even Michael Keaton's brand new suit that he's using, they're using the 1992 cowl as I'm sorry, the emblem. The cowl is modified around the mouthpiece and things like that. It's a different cowl, but the emblem is the 1992 emblem, more than the 89. So the 92 really is sprinkled more throughout. Where I hope not only we might get that Flash figure with the 92 suit, but I really hope that we do get a 92 Batman 2.0. I'm okay with it being a single because Mars Toys is doing a Bruce Wayne figure from Batman. So you get a little bit of representation all over. So, like I said, I do get that. Let's see, super cool time. I prefer the Batman Returns, but the 99 is epic. Yeah, I love both of them. They're different in their own rights. So I don't think you can go wrong with either one. I chose to get this one because Batman means a lot to me, but unfortunately the 92, it maintains such a high price point. And I think at this point, I'm definitely holding out to see what happens with the Flash. Jared, I'm considering getting a 2.0 when it comes out. I made a video about it if you want to check it out on my channel, where I took the DX09 and I did a comparison to the new one. And arguably, if you have both, I think it's an opportunity to get the new one, or if you have both, keep both. Because if you get the Bat computer, you could display one with the Bat computer. And if you're getting the Batmobile, you can display one with the Batmobile. So I think in this case, I'm going to have definitely an 89 shelf dedicated. Like I have Back to the Future right here. I'm going to have 89 dedicated 100%. Yep, Dylan, DX09 is a great figure. Absolutely. Conversation going on. CT, hey Don, and same one, all you happy Saturday. Happy Saturday as always. Don, was designed for 95 Batman before Burton and Keaton left. Yeah, that is true. I know let's see, Don, it's the 3.0, which is based on the 92 suit. Yeah, so there you go. But definitely has those elements. And as I said, the reason why I'm talking about that is because if you had to choose, between this one and the 92 just is definitely obviously sprinkled more throughout. And Keaton's new suit is the 3.0 of that, but it has a lot more of the 92 elements, I will say, than the 89. The 89, we only see it in the armory when he opens up all the suits. But other than that, though, the 92, I just feel like has a lot of justification to get a 2.0. But nevertheless, so we're going to move this guy to the side. And what we're going to do now, hope he doesn't fall, because the possibility of him falling is there. What we're going to do now is I'm going to pull up my number 4 pick for Hot Toys. And it was mentioned by it was mentioned in the comments by a couple of people throwing out their top 5s. And Don, I haven't seen, if I am correct, I haven't seen a top 5 from you. So I hope I see one, Don, if you can rattle off 5 figures for me, because I am interested. I never asked you that question. I don't know if it's a hard one to ask, but I don't know if you can put it in the chat. Let me see. But let me go grab my my 4th pick, and I'll be right back. And a famous quote, dead or alive, you are coming with me. And that is this guy right here, RoboCop. This is the die-cast RoboCop from the original first movie. And yeah, this is my number 4. This could be, if you had to tell me top 3, this would probably maybe be top 3 for me. I think that this is an absolutely breathtaking figure. I got this figure in late 2020, used in immaculate condition, off on one of the groups. And it's just an unbelievable figure. I love this pose that I have him in. I tried doing a nice RoboCop with his hand out pose. Obviously some of the things, the gun is very sensitive because of the articulated individual fingers, but it does allow you to get, poses like this where the hands are more realistic and not just one big piece. just either open or closed. So it does give you more articulation to try to get as realistic as possible. Has unbelievable weight to it. I know people argue about the color, whether or not it's accurate color. I've seen people do repaints on this where they give it more of the blue because as the movie goes on, the movies go on, it does change slightly from a different color blue to, and even when the light, you can see here. I mean, my camera, I'm on on 4K here, and the light's hitting it and it's reflecting differently. But um I got this. I love this figure so much, and this would be in a top three. If you told me like top three, you had to walk away from Hot Toys and only keep three figures, this would be top three. Partly also because this has a direct connection to my childhood. When I grew up, Back to the Future. I say this over and over again. Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, '89 Batman, and RoboCop. Those were like the pillars of my childhood. Yeah, radar movies back then. It goes to show you. But like I said, it's just when I saw this, I was like, I had to get it. This is one of those when I started collecting, I was doing a lot of grail hunting, going backwards versus going forwards. I was getting a couple pieces because I could financially do it. Getting more and more, was paying those more. I think I paid like 400 for this. If I think so, I have a box all original and everything. But like I said, this is one of those figures that it's breathtaking. And the Peter Weller faceplate, I mean, just to do the faceplate, it looks exactly like him. The presence on the shelf, it sits right next to my John Wick kind of lone assassins. Because I'm still building like an 80s shelf. The shelf behind me, right here, is all dedicated to Back to the Future. I have two DeLoreans up there. I have the Hot Toys train wreck 1/6 scale, and then right there is the Eagle Moss 1/8 scale DeLorean build up. And funny enough, they actually started this up again. So if anyone's ever interested in actually building a DeLorean, it's a nightmare nevertheless. Fanhome.com, they actually just started taking orders the last couple days for the DeLorean. And if you're someone that had it and it got stalled because of the Eagle Moss bankruptcy, you can actually pick up where you left off. I have the Ecto 1 in my basement that I'm at like a stage like 120 of 140. So the Ecto 1 is supposed to get greenlit in a couple of weeks, like 2-3 weeks. So I'm going to sign up for that one to actually finish that off. And then eventually you guys will see a 1/8 scale Ecto 1, which will probably be the closest I come to getting one for quite some time, unless someone ever ends up actually making another one. But there's other versions of this one out there. Insane One, I know you said it to me today. Ed 209, I would love to see them do a 2.0 of Ed 209, or give us Kang, I think it was Kang. Yeah, sorry, Kane from part two, RoboCop 2. And I know we're getting the third one with the jetpack. I'm on the wait list for that. I do hope I get it. It wasn't something I needed right away because I have this guy here. But for those who are getting the RoboCop from part three, that's actually the first movie I saw. I was a kid, and then I backtracked and watched them. But the jetpack, the machine gun arm, I mean, that's just classic. It's insane. Yeah, Robo Kane. Thanks, Don. Robo Kane, to be more accurate. Obviously, you tell them just rambling. But for those who are going to get the new one, it's a real good score because you're going to get the Peter Weller faceplate on the new one, which obviously he wasn't RoboCop in that movie. So I think it's a great representation of that figure. And you get the jetpack. Like I said, I'm on the wait list for it from Sideshow. I hope it converts. If it does convert, yeah, I probably will get it just because that one, I definitely have the connection to my childhood because that RoboCop 3 was the first one I saw, and then I went backwards and watched 2 and then 1. So I love, it's great, but I love it. Love it so much. Let's check out some of the comments before we go. Let's see. CSI Grissom, I can't wait for RoboCop 3 so I can complete my RoboCop collection. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a huge collection like I do 89 Batman or Back to the Future. Back to the Future, you definitely see I have a whole bunch of crap up there on the top shelf, but I do enjoy it, like I said. And then 89 Batman is really going to be the next phase where I have more display cases to build, where I'm going to have complete setups of 89 Batman. So that's really great to see. And Don, we got 5 ESPA Snow Speeder, number 4 Iron Man Mark 7, Hot Leia, Vader Tarkin 2-pack cheating, and then the Mark 85 Battle Damage. Those are all. I have the Mark 85 Battle Damage on a payment plan. I got it when it was one of those daily deals, and all great picks. Like I said, all great picks. Let's see what we got here. Yep, Robo Kane. Yep. Six scale, six scale gallery. Okay, my top five in my collection. 2012 Cap. I have that one. Black suit Spider Man. Yep. Ragnarok Loki with a custom head sculpt. DX19 and the In Art Joker. All fantastic pieces, my friend. You know something about that black suit? What is a black suit Superman? I think I said Spider Man. Yeah, I have him back there too. Part of the two pack. I thought you said black suit Spider Man. I was actually gonna make a comment. I said I really hope someone does a hope they do book a comic book version of the black suit Spider-Man with the symbol like from the 90s from the comic book. That'd be cool. But yeah, black suit Superman, have him, fantastic piece. The Loki Ragnarok, I could have gotten him a few times, but I was holding out for the end game, which I have on pre-order. DX19, I have him in the In Joker. I mean, that's if you have that one, I can see that being on a lot of people's top fives of the In Joker. That thing is blowing people's minds when they actually get it in hand, which is great. This figure is still amazing, definitely in my top five. You know, there's certain figures that just hold up over time that just don't lose their touch. And I feel like I got two of them here, the 89 Batman and the RoboCop. They just sit, they just hold their own. And it's just they're just great pieces. And they had this in the battle damage in the chair. I could have got that, but I like this piece just as is. And I keep it clean. I have the battle damage plates that came with it. I don't put those on there, but this pose is it's pretty safe for it because does have the rubber and the elbows. So I don't try to do a complete 90 to tear that. So I keep it pretty well. This is a pose that he had a couple times when he was walking and he had his arm out shooting the gun like in the factory. So it's a nice little pose I have there. I don't try to touch this one too much. CT 603. I was going to call you out, but you did it for me. What do we got here? Number one, Chrome Clone Trooper, Shiny Clone Trooper Pilot, Coruscant Guard, and the 501st Battalion Trooper. What the hell did you expect for the Republic? Yeah, all clones, man. And I think you share my sentiments. So does Don, and so does Sean. Is that like I wish they did more, man. I wish they did more like pilots and more imperial officers and things like that. I really wish Hot Toys would dive into that. I don't know if those would be fan favorites where everyone would get them, but like I hate to say it, man, but like Return of the Jedi. I hope we get a Stormtrooper because I love those classic trilogy Stormtroopers. I never had a chance to get one, but I hope we get more imperial officers. And I hope we get more like pilots, like rebel pilots. I would love to have that kind of stuff. You could army build those for days. And I'm slowly getting into that unfortunate army building situation, especially with the troopers. The photography is really what got it for me. When you're doing photography of one or two figures, you realize, well, one more would be great. So you end up getting another one, then you get another one, then you get another one. So you go down the rabbit hole, so to speak. So it's, you know, where's my damn fears? Yeah, well, we'll see. Eddie Rodriguez. Yeah, I love my black suit Superman too. It's just a great piece. The only criticism I have of the black suit Superman, um, like it is, but it isn't. It's not a huge gripe. Is the wire in the cape only because it's very weak and for me, cinematically, whenever I think of Superman, Cavill Superman, his cape always, it's obviously because it's CGI. It doesn't, but like the cape in the wire in the black suit is very weak, where it really only bends well like around from the knees down. You can't get it well up high past like his arms because the wire is very thin. I do have a wired cape for my Justice League version, but ironically, I like that one draped because I'm in the middle of building my Justice League. You see right behind me. So it's like it's kind of one of those things where I kind of wish they made the wire better. Like here, for example, now we're kind of going off the beaten path here, but I'll show you guys another figure. This is not in my top five, but I just want to show you something with a wired cape, for example. So I got this one from I think it was Unreal Customs, but this is Infinity War Thor. This is not in my top five. We're going completely off topic because I'm enjoying the conversation. But this is Infinity War Thor. It's actually one of my favorite Thors. I don't have any other ones because I still don't think anything meets this one. But I got a custom cape for this, and as you can see, it doesn't really take away from the figure. But this cape can go like I can mold this cape, and it can it could really, as you can see, it could really bend pretty high up and do a lot of stuff. So you can like really make this kind of what you want, this cape here and the wrinkles in the back, it makes it look more realistic. And I don't think that he does these anymore for the Infinity War Thor, but you can see how this cape, I mean, I just really just crumpled it up, but you can see how that cape, the movement in it looks so realistic. I got this one, I think in 2020, at the end of 2020, but the wire is super thick in this cape. It's huge. Let me just pull this away for a sec, my mic away for a second and try to repose this. But like, but you can see like there the cape, how like I can get that cape so high up. I kind of wish that's what Hot Toys did. Yeah, thanks, Don. But I wish that's kind of what Hot Toys do with theirs. That's kind of one criticism I have with Hot Toys is their wires and their drape capes and stuff. But like I said, I got that from Unreal Customs a long time ago. And I think when I was talking to him, he's on Facebook. I don't think he does them anymore for Thor. I think I was one of the last ones to get one. I may be wrong if you check out Unreal Customs, but I have a couple of his capes. But that wired one is really great. Um, Yep, Don called it. Yeah, that cape is pretty sharp. Yeah, it's cool because, like I said, the drape was nice on it. But when I saw it on his Instagram, I reached out and I said, "Hey, you got one?" And he goes, "Yeah, I think I still do have a few." So I'm pretty sure, Don. I know you're asking about it. I'll double check it on Instagram and I'll send it to you, Don. I'm pretty sure it was Unreal Customs. He might have changed his name, but Unreal Customs, I think, is the gentleman who is going to do that. Who did that cape for me? I have that cape, and then he also did a wired. And I'll show you one more if you don't mind, Don. I'll show you one more wired piece that he did for me. He actually made me. Now that we're going definitely down the rabbit hole, he actually made me a wired robe for Qui-Gon Jinn. And so this figure here, I do love this figure. The articulation in this is it's not the best, but he made a wired robe for Qui-Gon. So as you can see, the pose that I have him kind of lightsaber down, I kind of wanted it where the robe was blowing in the wind. So he was kind of, as you can see, wrapping around his foot there, but he also made this for me too. This is not something that was custom. He makes these, but the wire in there is very bendable, as you can see. But the pose, I know Qui-Gon has difficulty posing just because of the restrictions in the boots and in the hair and stuff. So I have it with the cloak on. I have the original, but as you can see there, this is a custom robe from him as well. He does a lot of Jedi robes. I know when the Luke came out, Mando Luke was announced. He was doing robes for that as well. If you wanted a custom one, so I know I'm going off the beaten path a little bit, but I'm enjoying the conversation and kind of showing some stuff off. I don't really show off my collection that often. I haven't done a collection tour. The hood is also wired as well. This is a wired, as you can see. So the hood I have down, but you can bend the hood. The hood's wired. The sleeves are not. They're just cut, at the ends. But as you can see, the pose that I have, I really enjoy this pose because studying Liam Neeson, when he, I notice a lot of his lightsaber holding, he keeps his saber like kind of down into the chest. So I tried to emulate that pose here. And like I said, I think the cape does a really great job of kind of giving it more some character. So I do have the original, but this doesn't, this is unbelievably awesome to it. So I should do some photos with this one. But yeah, if you're interested in that, this is a nice piece to have as well. So, so that being said, I have to pull up a sweet, and let's see. Robinson announced Return to Optimus Prime movie reboot. Yeah, there we go. So that being, you definitely need to do a room tour. Yeah, I got to do a room tour. I'm trying to clean up the whole mess and everything like that. I got a lot of stuff all over the place. So that is on my to-do list, is to film a room tour. I want to do a couple videos. I want to film just the collection room itself, but then I also want to do a video of me building the displays behind me. I credit Costa from Pop Culture Living Room for obviously the idea. Also posing with Peter as well. Those are the videos I used for the display cases. I did a little bit different take on me mine. As you can see, I don't have plexiglass on mine, so I can just reach in, grab something, take it out. I opted not to do the plexiglass only because it was too much money, and I was going to save it for a later date. And then I grew into not having plexiglass on my display case at all. So I ended up just keeping it because I'm moving figures out so often and reposing and photography. I just didn't want to keep having to move plexiglass sheets off. So I opted to leave the plexi off. I have the sides sealed up. I have everything except the front sealed up. So I'm going to pull up a video because let me see. Actually, I'm going to pull up I'll put my Instagram page because there's a photo of it. I don't have it available, so I'm not pulling it off the shelf because it's too big. But I will pull up a photo of it so you guys can kind of see what my number 5 pick is. And like I said, insane one. If you don't like subscribe to Mr. Mom Collectibles Instagram, yep. Thank you so much as always, dropping the links. So my number 5 is definitely it's a love-hate relationship I have with it. I think CT knows, and those who know, it's gonna be the DeLorean. It's gotta be. It is the DeLorean. The vehicle that you see, it's right there. It's blurred out because I'm in focus. But share screen. I'm gonna pull this up for you so you can see. It's my Instagram page. It's the DeLorean from Back to the Future Part 2. That is in my top 5. Um, so yeah, plexiglass for 24, yep, $176. Yeah, you're right. And it's not that I couldn't afford it. I just was like, at the time when I need the plexi, it wasn't dire need. What was priority for me was you know, what was priority for me was to get the display put up, to get the figures in, and then the plexi was always an afterthought. I was like, I'll get it. And I think I CT me and you had a conversation about that. I was like, yeah, I'll get it when I get it. It's not the big deal, but but the reality is, I ended up just liking it without, so I just left the plexiglass off. Luckily, I don't get a lot of dust or anything like that. May Eagle Moss burn. Yeah, so um, yeah, I don't have the best relationship with Eagle Moss. So the problem is, Don, is that I got a 1/8 scale Ecto 1 that weighs probably about 50, 60 pounds that I'm so close to having finished that I'm trying to get that thing finished. So after that, then they can burn. But I just want my parts for my Ecto 1 first. Insane one. Got to have a vehicle in the top 5. You got it. Nice. Yeah. So like I said, this is a photograph that I took of the car. Like I said, people know and the documented history with the DeLorean, how much of a train wreck it is. And I think this is the issue of why Hot Toys. I mean, people are wondering if Hot Toys is going to retool the DeLorean or are they going to leave it as is and then just say, hey, another run. I could see it going both ways for this very reason, is because I love this vehicle because of what it means for the movie. And I think Hot Toys knows that. And that's kind of where, when people say, speak with your wallets, I guess I spoke with my wallet. As much negativity I have about it, I still own the car. And there's still people that are going to get the car. I know they give Jazz Inc. a lot of flack, but this wasn't their finest moment either. And especially since I'm not a fan of how Hot Toys has gone radio silence, partly because I'm not sure if they know what the solution is. Do they just revamp more cars and send them out, or are they legitimately going to try to fix the flying conversion? Now, for me, the car has only been converted 2-3 times, and one of them was for this photo shoot. Yeah, JC Penney's does still exist. This mall is actually behind my house. I can actually walk here, and I did a photo shoot for those. I'm on my Instagram, but I did a photo shoot way back when. Yeah, here I did this photo shoot of when I took the figures and I did them in front of the JC Penney's. And people thought I photoshopped, like this was in front of a computer. This was actually me there at like I think 12 o'clock at night doing this photography, but and the figures there too. So when I got the car, I wanted to go back to there and take, and as you can see, a lot of Mando pictures. But yeah, I went back there and photographed the car, and so and that's what it was. I love the photography I did for that. I mean, it looks great. And like I said, I'm surprised JC Penney's is still around, but luckily I was I have one right around the corner from my house. I could walk there, and so it was a little awkward going there at like 11 o'clock at night, watching people walk out with me laying on the ground taking photos of a toy car. But it is what it is. I've done stupider things like put Aquaman in the ocean. So, but I do love the car for what it represents. Back to the Future is obviously, it's one of my favorite movies all time. That trilogy, specifically Part 2, is my favorite movie. And then Part 1, then Part 3. No offense to Part 3, I think it's the weakest of the three. But I love what the car represents. I'm not happy about how it was executed, obviously, with the issues of the damaged conversion. But needless to say, I do love the vehicle. And I think that's where Hot Toys knows they kind of got collectors, by the balls a little bit, because they know at the end of the day, we gripe about stuff, but most likely we're still going to buy it. Just like the Doc Brown with the slits in the ears, people still bought it just because where else are you going to get it? just like the DeLorean. I know Jazz Inc. was going to do one, or it was on the books, rumored, that whole thing. And then Hot Toys, threw this catastrophe at us, to say the least. And like I said, I'm going to speak negatively about it because, yes, I'm happy that I have it. It looks awesome in the display, but nothing is perfect. And, the car does have its flaws. It does have its inaccuracies. I did fix some of it with mods from Mike Lane, but they're mods that I think, you know, that they should have came with the car if Hot Toys was trying to do it justice. But we all know the story to it. We all know the whole deal. It was to get it out as fast. They got it out within a year, so obviously they cut some corners, many corners. But it's definitely in my top 5. If I had an '89 Batmobile, I'd probably put it in there, to be honest with you. But let's see, CT. I need 2 more garage cases, and the cost has me in paralysis by analysis state. Need to get moving. Lots of vehicles coming. Yeah, I have. You can't see off screen, but if I let me move a little bit out here, but like over here is my light box. You can just see I have a light box there, but I can actually get rid of that and move that light box away. And yeah, see right there, that's the light. There's my computer, and there's my light box there. If I move that light box out, I can put another garage case there, another one. It's like behind me is 2 of them. I could build another one there, so I have more than enough space for more stuff coming in. Um, I got the '89 Batmobile on pre-order. Got a bunch of figures. I'm preparing for pretty much anything Flash. That's definitely Michael Keaton is grandfathered into being pre-ordered. Return of the Jedi's it's grandfathered into being pre-ordered. So that being said, I know there's gonna be expansion involved. So I'm gonna be doing, more stuff like that. So, but like I said, everybody, hit about an hour mark. Conversation's going pretty well. I appreciate those in the chat, as I said, who taking the time here, about 11, 12 people. I didn't expect a lot of turnout. It's a Saturday afternoon. People got better things to do probably than sit here and listen to me talk about figures. But I do appreciate everybody who came in. And I just wanted to give a quick update, to the channel, if you don't mind. So, like I said, Sunday 8:15 is my normal streaming time. I would, appreciate if anyone can check it out. That'd be fantastic. Sundays 8:15. We're going to talk about a variety of things. This Sunday, I'll pull up my YouTube so you guys can get an idea of what's going on here. Sunday, I think I have a great show. I'm really excited about this stream. This is going to be, like I said, let's get nuts. This is going to be about the Flash. The deal, what's going on with this? We're going to talk about a variety of things. We're going to talk about the news, talk about the releases. I want to talk about a little bit of in-art stuff. You'll cover that kind of topics. And I'm going to have Costa from Pop Culture Living Room on. So if anyone's interested, I do have a couple display-oriented conversation pieces that we can talk to about him as well, since he's on. Got a couple questions I can ask him. I'll have CMB on from Geeking Out. He'll be there as well. But what the main topic of conversation is going to be about the Flash. I had a different topic, but I decided to switch it up because I was so hyped about this. And I know right now we're kind of in a lull going into Star Wars. And what I mean by that is I know we got some releases, Scout Trooper, but really we're all waiting for May 4th. That's what everyone's waiting for. So with that being said, I thought it would be fun to do a top 3. I'm looking at top 3. I might stretch it to top 5. Top 5 wish list from the Flash movie. What are we looking for? Are we looking for Michael Keaton? Are we looking for Ben Affleck? It's kind of funny how he's kind of to the back burner at the moment. I know his screen time is kind of limited from what he said and what's going on. But nevertheless, are we going to get another Ben Affleck since that's his last go around? Are we going to get the Bat Cycle? Are we going to get Michael Keaton? Are we going to get a Michael Keaton head sculpt? Are we going to get one? An old like this version that you see in the photo there? Are we going to get I forgot to pull it up right here. Are we going to get a there you go. Are we going to get a Michael Keaton head sculpt? Just like in this version. That would be awesome. I would love that. If we just got a Michael Keaton head sculpt, like kind of like not, I'm not going to say the word DX because I don't think, but it'd be awesome if we got the Michael Keaton head sculpt, and then Matt, like how McFarlane, they did one with and one without. I think that would be fun. Are we going to get a Batwing? I doubt it. 1/12 scale? I doubt it. I don't think that's going to happen. But are we going to get another Batmobile? I don't know. Doesn't look like the Batmobile is going to be used as much. It looks like all the focus is on the Batwing. But nevertheless, that's happening Sunday. And then I don't want to jump the gun too much, but I have a stream planned for the following week for a May the 4th recap where I'll have some special guests on, but I'm waiting for that to be confirmed. But once again, guys, I really do appreciate those who took the time out of your Saturday to watch. Eddie Rodriguez, this was fun. I really appreciate that. Like I said, it was only an hour, nothing crazy. I just wanted to do this stream because it was going to be a pre-recorded video anyway. So I thought, why not just make it a stream and get some interaction in? So yeah, I'm excited for the announcements to come May 4th. I hope that we get 2 more Batmans from the Flash. Absolutely. So I really hope that we do that. Like I said, we'll do a May the 4th recap next Sunday. So this Sunday is going to be about the Flash, top 5 figures that we hope to get. Next Sunday, I'm going to do a May the 4th recap of everything. What were our expectations? Were they too high? Were they too low? Were they right on par? Were you guys, those who will be watching, were you happy with what was released? Were you disappointed with what was released? And then there's one other thing that I want to talk about and which people aren't thinking about are future Star Wars anniversaries. I know people talk about like next year. Next year, I believe, is Revenge of the Sith. But the following year, what's coming on after that? Up to 2027, we have a Star Wars anniversary every year for the next 4 or 5 years. Rogue One, A New Hope. We have, like I said, Episode 1. We have Revenge of the Sith. So every year up until 2027, we have a Star Wars anniversary, either a 25th, a 50th, a 10-year. So, you know, what do we expect from those? Yeah, right there. 20th. Yep, 20th Clone Wars 20th is going to kill us. Yeah, I didn't include that. I was only including major movies, but no, you're right, Don. That's going to kill us. You know, so like I said, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also looking past May the 4th, like what anniversaries are going to be ahead, and maybe what hot toys are we looking forward to seeing. So that's another conversation. I might have a couple special guests on. I'm up for that. I want to get that stuff finalized before I announce it. But like I said, do me a favor, check out the stream Sunday, 8:15. Costa, Pop Culture Living Room, and CMB. Have a great conversation about the Flash. And then, you know, leading into May 4th, we'll see what happens, guys. But once again, I appreciate it. Don, thank you. Great solo run. I really appreciate that as well. Everybody, yep, have a safe weekend, guys. I really appreciate this and you guys taking the time out to you know, talk, hit that hour mark. So as I said, drop a like. I really appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care.